I will look at, I think this is percentages. And when I do percentages, and I probably have already talked to y'all about percentages, I don't know, but I usually stay around the is of percent over 100 and the Walmart equation. Have I talked about that with y'all before?
I don't think so.
Okay, that must be 120 that I do. Okay. All right, well, let me go and I think I've got the whiteboard up. Let me hit this and this and current slide. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write down the two things that I think are important with, well, there we go. And that is of percent over 100 and the Walmart equation. Okay, I call it the Walmart equation because when I was teaching, what the heck is that? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my screen and my screen was showing the board and I thought it was another classroom. I'm sorry. The Walmart equation is something I came up with when I was teaching the first semester. And the reason I call it the Walmart equation was whenever you walk into a Walmart or a Walgreens and you only got $10 in your pocket, how do you know what you can buy? Well, you go through and let's say you find something, let's say you pick up a double pack of paper towels, which is $3. Okay? I know it's not $3, it's usually about $2.50, but it's $3 for figuring purposes. And the tax is 5% on $1. Then you go, okay, let's see, that's $3 plus, taxes is plus, and then you do 5% of $3, which 10% of $3 would be 30. So, and then you do the math, okay? And you say half of 30 is 15 cents, and then you add that 15 cents back to the $3, and you get what? $3.15. Y'all have done that, hopefully, in your lifetime, okay? If you haven't, you don't say that out loud. Don't say that you've never done that because that's sad, okay? You've all done it when you're adding tax. So I just put it in when I first started teaching, I said, let's just make it into an equation, and I said, that's the Walmart equation, okay? What is plus? What do you add? In the real world, what do you add? I just gave you an example of what?
Tax.
Taxes. What else do you add? Starts with a T. I. P.
Tips.
Tips. You add tips. What do you subtract? Stuff that is on what? Sale. Reduced price, percentage taken off, discounts, those are subtracted. So, what about the is of percent over 100? Now, some of y'all have seen that before. If you've been through high school, no yawning, Miss Riddle. That affects my confidence. Then I'll have to go out and I'll have to buy smokestacks for my truck. Okay, is of percent over 100, what? Nobody's going to say anything. Is of percent over 100 is usually when you're talking about sentence questions. 20 is 40% of what number? Y'all seen those? How many of you have seen those kind of questions before? Usually on a standardized test. How many of you have seen those before?
Yep.
Okay, one person. Thank you for the interaction, Ms. Riddle. Okay. Well, when do you use the Walmart equation? Well, you can use both interactively or interchangeably. You can interchange them. But I like to tell students, when you're dealing with the sentence questions, do is of percent over 100. When you're dealing with word problems, when it's talking about taxes, tips, or discounts, you might want to use the Walmart equation. So, sentence problems, and the reason I call them sentence problems is usually the question is made up of one what? Sentence. 30% of what number is 6? 30% of 600 is what? Number. Okay, those are all three examples of sentence questions. And then these, I usually say word problems with taxes, tips, and discounts. That's what I usually tell students. Now, I have no idea what this book has in it, but I can guarantee you it's probably going to suck. So we're going to work through it kind of like a minefield, go in and out, and see what we can do and find problems that are worthy of being on a test. So let's look at them. A total of 300 newspaper employees, 2.6% of the newspaper workforce lost their jobs. All right, now if I wanted to figure out, now this is an easy question, 2.6% of 13,000 is what number? You can put this problem in a sentence equation. 2.6% of 13,000 is what number? All right, write that down because you just made a sentence question. So we're going to use is of percent over 100. Now, what's the first thing I'm going to do here? Well, I'm going to change that. Well, 2.6, I'm going to leave it like 2.6, okay? And this is where you put it over 100. So that's going to be a percentage. So I take my handy dandy highlighter and I highlight that green. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter and I'm going to highlight this yellow. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter and I'm going to highlight this. It's supposed to be aqua, but that's blue. Okay? So now I'm going to write my is of percent over 100. Is of percent over 100. And I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter and I'm going to highlight this one, that, and I'm going to highlight the yellow right there, and I'm going to highlight the green right there. So now what am I going to tell you to do? Plug and what?
Chug.
Plug and chug. What goes in the is spot?
The number.
Well, we don't have a number. So what do you call when you don't know it?
X.
X. What goes in the of spot? 13,000. Thank you. And what goes in the percent spot?
2.6.
Now, cross multiply and solve for X. $100X is equal to 2.6 times 13,000. And somebody take 13,000 and multiply by 2.6 for me.
Dang it, Hubert, you're moving too fast.
Okay, I'll slow down. I did all kinds of stuff this morning. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I did all kinds of stuff.
It's 33,800.
Is that just 33,800? Okay, yeah. That's just 2.6 times 33,800?
Yes.
Now, divide by 100, you don't need a calculator. Because what do? You just chop off the what?
Zeros.
So x is equal to 338. So, reread the sentence. 2.6% of 13,000 is what? 338. So 338 people lost their jobs. That is a prime example of a sentence equation, or sentence problem. Now go ahead and write everything down, and then I'm going to erase it so we can see what they did. And I'm going to erase it and hit enter. Okay, well, just forget that. We're going to go to another problem. Citigroup stock fell 15% last week to 44.25. This is a Walmart equation. Why?
Because you've got the
final price and you've got the percent. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to know what the original price of the stock was. So this is a Walmart equation. So write the sentence down and put beside it Walmart equation. Are we going to use plus or minus?
minus.
Minus. What word tells you that?
Fell.
Fell. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to write the Walmart equation right up under this one. Now, I guarantee you there's not going to be a Walmart equation in your book. X plus or minus percentage X is equal to the total. This is just like saying shirt was discounted 15% to a total of $44.25. What was the original price of the shirt? Now that type of problem, I want you to write outside original. I don't know how to spell original. Original price. When you're asked the original price, about the only way you can find it is the Walmart equation, or some form of the Walmart equation. A lot of people say, oh, I just multiply 15% times 44.25 and subtract it from 44.20 or add it to 44.25. No, you can't do that. You'll come out with a different answer and it usually will be wrong. Where'd Mr. B go? He done got discouraged and quit.
The Russians took him, Hubert.
Oh no, not again. The Russians took him to the Nigerians, and the Nigerians are going to beat him up. All right, so we said we're going to use the minus. So that means x minus 0.15x is equal to 44.25. Now this is where y'all, and y'all not meaning people in here, but all students, this is where y'all go stupid right here. Y'all will sit there and stare at x minus 0.15x for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yep. All you got to do is put what in front of the x?
A 1.
And what's $1 minus 15 cents? 85 cents, Hubert. Thank you, class. Divide by 0.85. Divide by 0.85. And somebody tell me what 44.25 divided by 0.85 is.
52.058.
52.058, which is 06. So the original price of the stock was $52.06. Now that is a very important question, because that question right there, a lot of people will miss on a test. Why? Well, in just a minute I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to show you the way a lot of students do it and they get it wrong. What's that noise? Did y'all just hear that?
Ripping my paper.
No, this was like a siren. Did anybody hear a siren?
I heard something, but I don't know what it was.
Okay. All right. So everybody got this written down?
Yeah.
I'm going to erase it. And this is what students do. Somebody take 0.15 and multiply it by 44.25.
.00338.
No. That's not right.
0.15.
10% of 44 is $4. So 15% is going to be around $6.
I got the same thing when I did it again.
0.15 times 44.25.
Okay, yeah.
Should be between $4 and $8.
6.637.
No, that's not right. Let me get my calculator. What's 10% of $45? $4.50, Hubert. So 15% of $45 is going to be more. It's going to be around $6.50 or $6.75.
Yeah, when I did it again, I got 6.637.
That's right. What?
6.637.
6.63764. Now add that to 44.25.
50.88.
50.88. And guess what? That is wrong. What did we get?
52.06.
52.06 is the correct answer. And you can tell people this all day long and they won't believe you. But this question, the 50.88, is wrong. So make sure you put a big red X through what I just did, because that's the wrong way to do it. And that's what students usually do when it's asking for what? When it's asking for the original what? Price or the original whatever, the original number, the original price. This is the wrong way to do it. Do not do it that way. Now again, it's not asking for the final price. It's asking for the original price. The original price is funny. You can't back in the original price. You have to use some form of an equation to do the original price. Now, if you add taxes to a shirt and the shirt is $25, then you can do that one any way you want to. But you can't do the original price the same way. Just remember, you can't back in the original price like you can the final price. Okay? That's a good test question right there. So write that. Both of these two are good test questions.
Okay.
Next question. The advanced battery lasts 125% longer than the standard one, but costs 200% more. This one is not a good question, but we'll go over it. I also want to show you one more thing. I want to show you percent change. And I'm going to go back right here because I think it's important. And I think I mentioned this the other day. I might have. I get y'all mixed up with other classes. But percentage change is equal to new minus old over old multiplied by 100%. So therefore you get a percent. Okay? So if I made $10,000 this year and I made $20,000 next year, what's going to be my percentage change in my salary? Well, you'd put the new price, which is $20,000 minus $10,000 over $10,000, and then multiply that by 100. Now, we're going to see these. I guarantee you we're going to see one of these in the slides, so I'm not worried about giving you an example because we're going to see it. If not, by the end of the slides, I'll give you an example. Okay, so let me go backwards. Let me go back and new minus old over old. If you want a decimal, you just say new minus old over old. If you want a percentage, you take that decimal, move it 2 places to the right, or multiply by 100, whichever one you want to do. An opinion poll finds that 35% of blah, blah, blah people surveyed said that president is doing good. How many said that president is doing good? 35% of 1069 is what number? So you write that down. Write down the question, and then we're going to make it into a sentence question. 35% of 1069 is what number? Have I talked about the last week of class with y'all?
I don't think so.
Okay, I need to do that probably Wednesday. Because today's the 15th. What's 15 plus 7?
22.
Okay, so I need to talk about it. This is last week. Duh. So what are we going to do? Is of percent over 100. 35% of is of percent over 100. Cross multiply. 100x is equal to 35 times 1069. Somebody give me that 35 times 1069.
It's 37,415.
Move 2 places to the left. 1, 2. 374 people. Now, why don't I include 15? Talking about people, aren't you? And you have 0.15 of a person? No. So either you round down or you round up, but always read the directions. Ding, we got it right. That's a good test question. Question on that one? Mr. B, did the Russians grab you and throw you in a van?
No, I had Chinese yesterday.
Oh, God.
Chinese? Where'd they come from?
What do you mean?
Oh, you ate
I had Chinese food.
Okay. You were being gross and giving TMI. Okay, thank you. All right. Absolute change. You know what they're fixing to show y'all? New minus old. They're fixing to show y'all new minus old over old. Oh, but we don't call it old value. We call it what? Reference value. The reference value. Hold your pinky up when you say that. New minus old. So write down absolute change. New minus old. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by doing a problem, but they'll show you one probably here in a second. Oh my gosh, look at there. New minus old over old. So write all that down. You don't have to write it word for word. And the relative change, that's what you're going to be asked on a test. Find the relative change, percentage change. Change that relative to percentage change because that's what you're finding. What does a negative change mean? It means it went down in price. What does a positive change mean?
Increase in price.
It increased. Thank you, Miss Anisador, for interaction. I appreciate that. All right, ready for the example? There's during a 6-month period, does that matter? No. So just mark that out. Lunar Industries stock doubled in price from 7 to 14. What were the absolute? Well, it increased $7. Now, 14 minus 7 over 7 times 100. Somebody do that. There it is right there. I don't know why it showed it. Let me see. No, it just went right to it. Okay. So 14 minus 7 is 7. 7 over 7 is 1. So there was a 100% increase. That's not a good question. I can't stand when they do that. I can't stand when they give you problems that come out to be exactly a certain number, because that really doesn't teach you anything. So if it was 21 to 7, 7 to $21, well, or $15.15, then it would be a little bit different than 100%. A good question, but I wouldn't use 7 to 14. I would use 7 to $15.50, or 7 to $21.32, or 7 to $5.50. If I change that to $5.50, would I get a percent increase or a percent decrease?
Increase.
If I change the 14 to $5.50.
Yeah. Okay. Decrease.
Decrease, because it would be a what? A negative number.
Okay.
I don't know why they put all this down here before they even did this. That makes no sense. Looks stupid. All right. You bought a new laptop computer 3 years ago. 3 years, doesn't matter. For $1,000. Today, it is worth $300. So what would that be? 1,000 minus 300 over 1,000. So let's look at this before you all start reaching for the calculator. Do you need a calculator for this?
No.
No, you do not. So 1,000 minus 300. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Over 1,000. 1,000 minus 300 is what?
700.
Over 1,000. What do you do with those two?
Huh? Wouldn't it be over
zeros?
300? Hubert,
What?
wouldn't it be over 300?
I don't know why I keep saying 700 to myself. I said 300.
No, on the bottom, wouldn't it be over 300 instead of over 1,000?
New minus old over old. Okay. No, I've got it backwards. It should be 300. I'm sorry. I messed up. Oh, me, such a simple problem. The new price is 300. 300 minus 1,000 over 1,000. Because this is the what? Old price. This is the what? New price. 300 minus 1,000 over 1,000. Now, that gives us negative 700 over 1,000. What happens to these two zeros?
They cancel.
and you're left with -7 over 10. Okay? Now, a lot of people say, well, Hubert, how do you use a calculator? Well, all you got to do is multiply the top by 10 and the bottom by 10, and you get -70 over what? 100. And what's -70 over 100? 70%. So however you want to do it, you can multiply by 100 here if you want to. You're still going to get 70%. 70% what? Increase or decrease? I'm wanting y'all to interact with me. That's not rhetorical.
It's decreased.
Decrease because of the negative. You got to be careful on these. You got to make sure, just like I made a mistake, label your numbers. Sorry, got a hold in my mouth. Okay, they want the absolute change, so that's going to be -$700. I thought they were wanting the. Okay. A negative sign tells us that it went down. Here we go. -70%. So there was a 70% decrease in price. Capiche?
Yes.
Now that's a good test question, asking you the decrease in price. That's a good test question. I don't care about the previous one where it says absolute. Just know how to do it. You just take the new minus old. But I wouldn't ask you that question, but it might be incorporated in the other question with this question. Okay, I don't get into absolute differences. I don't get into that, but go ahead and write it down. Absolute difference is the compared value minus the old value, or the reference value. And you won't see this until you see a question, because you won't understand it until you see a question. Absolute difference is equal to the compared value minus the old value. Relative difference is compared minus old over old. Compared minus old over old. So it's the same type formula. It's just the words are going to be what? Different. It's not going to say the old value. It's going to say the compared value. Recent data showed that California ranked first among 50 states, blah, 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 at about 68,900 per person. That's interesting. Who has the highest homeless rate? Anybody want to take a guess? California. And West Virginia ranked last at 46,600. How much lower is the average income in West Virginia than in California? Well, what would that be? And how much higher is the average income? So they're just turning the words what? They're just turning the words around. So go ahead and write that question down. The math is real simple, but you got to know where to put it. You're just going to use subtraction on the first one, and the second one you're going to use compared minus old over old. Tell me when y'all through writing down the question. And you don't have to write it word for word. All you got to write down is California 68.9, West Virginia 46.6, and then write A and B.
I got it.
Everybody finished writing?
Not yet.
Miss Riddle, when did you write this text to me?
It was before class. It was at 9:01.
I was kind of thinking there's no way it could be right now because...
No, I went before because the power was out. And I went to the front and asked them what we needed to do, and nobody knew.
Of course.
And yeah, they wanted us to sign a roster after I came back in here. They brought it in, but I texted you right before that.
Okay, well, thank you for the text. They're having some major problems up there at Easley with cutting lines, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Did y'all see a tornado last night?
No, but my mama decided to go out and get fast food during the storms. So,
Oh my.
yeah.
So, absolute minus is compared value minus old value. So there it is. 46 minus 68. And I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why compared. Why is it 46? The way the question's worded. What was A saying? A said, how much lower is the average income in West Virginia than in California? So you're going to put West Virginia's number first. So you have to read the question and see what the question is asking. If California was first, then you would put California's number first. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not real rocket science. Now, what comes first on the other one? California's come first. I'm sorry. This is the compared value. 46 is compared. So from the first question, that's the compared. 46 is your compared. So what you would do is you would highlight this 46 right here, and you would say, okay, that's my compared. And the compared is going to go first right here. Would I ask that on a test? No. Because I have been through, I'm 52 years old, I'm 52 or 53, one of the two. And I've never, ever had anything asked to me as far as, what does it say? I've never been asked anything like this. I've been asked, what is the percent reduction? I've been asked that, new minus old over old, but I've never been asked this. I may be crazy, but I've never been asked that. We just talked about that. Compared minus old over old. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time over that. But you can look at the question. Okay, they're still doing that one. Okay, let's see. If the new compared value is more than the reference value is 100p, I'm not going to ask you that. Carol earns 200% more than William. Of course. What is Carol's income as a percentage of William's? How many times as large as William's income is Carol's? Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm not going to ask these. I'm going to look on the homework and see if these are in there. If they are, I'm going to take them off. I'm not going to do these. Okay. Now, this is a question I could give you on a test. A store is having 25% off sale. How does an item sale price compare to its original price? What will it be? More expensive or cheaper?
Cheaper because it's off.
Yep. Okay, now this is not a question. This is a question. You would say it's cheaper. Okay, they're giving you examples, and that's where you use the Walmart equation. When a change or difference is expressed, blah blah blah. New minus old over old. Good gosh, this is repetitive. I'm not doing that. Okay, we'll do this one. Unless they mess it up. This is a test question. I don't know if they're going to mess it up or not. You purchase a shirt with a labeled pre-tax price of $21. The local sale price is $6. What is your final cost? Walmart equation. 21 plus 0.06 of 21 is equal. Now, a lot of people, I'll show you what some people do. There's two ways to do this problem. The Walmart equation, 21 plus, why is it plus, not minus?
You add tax.
You add tax. 0.06 times 21 is equal to the total. That's one way. That's called the Walmart equation. The other way is to take 21 and multiply by 1 and then point whatever the percentage is. So it'd be multiplied by 1.0 what? Do both of those and you should get the same thing. This will always be, okay, this will always be the percent if you want to do it the quick way. So what is the answer to both of them?
$22.26.
Did you check both of them?
Yes.
They should be the same answer. Now, like I said, most of the time, if this is a word problem, I just push it to special sales tax, tips, and discounts. I use the Walmart equation. If it's a sentence equation, like 500 people of 12,000 employed are in the Marlboro Club, okay, then you would figure that out, okay? That would be a sentence. 500 is what percent of 13,000? Okay, I would make that into a sentence question. But you can do what you want, but I like to define them in two different categories. Walmart equation, or in taxes, tips, and discounts, or a sentence question. We got it right. We're so smart. Miss Riddle, what time is it?
10:01.
Okay. Let me see what else is left here. That's it. All right, I'll fix your homework. We'll go through the homework and fix the homework on that one. I would not suggest doing the homework on 3A yet, okay?
Okay.
Work on 2A, 2B, 3B.
Okay.
Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all Wednesday. We'll talk about the last week of class and homework on 3A.
Okay.